Serious.
Right. Welcome back to another episode of Is Success Simple? Today's guest is Jennifer Stroh. Jennifer is the founder of NoFilter Agency. So welcome, Jennifer, to the podcast. How are you?
Hello. I'm very good. I'm so excited to be here. I was very happy that you reached out. I was like, who wants to listen to me? But yeah, very
That's
happy.
awesome.
Um,
Wicked.
yeah.
Well, tell us a little, I guess, the people that don't know who you are, give us a 60-second version of a bit about yourself and No Filter Agency.
All right. Yeah, my name's Jenny. I'm originally from Germany and I came to Australia 3 years ago. And yeah, I never wanted to leave the country because, yeah, why not? Beautiful sunshine, the ocean. Yes, and then to be honest, it was a bit of a life crisis. I feel like that's how every beautiful thing starts.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I couldn't really find a job. Then I found a job, but I realized I really don't want to work for someone else. And it was kind of like I was about to leave the country and I was like, you know what? I have absolutely nothing to lose. I'm just going to start my own thing. And then the
Mm.
first person that I reached out to and talked to, legend, he was like, I actually want to start a marketing agency. Do you want to partner up and like I sponsor you? And I was like, sure.
Wow.
So I was very lucky. And I think things like this always happen when you let go.
Mm.
So, yeah, so that was the beginning of No Filter Agency. I had about like 1 day to come up with a name. And I think because I'm German, I'm always told that I don't have a filter. So I was like, just going to call it No Filter. And that's also kind of our ethos. We
Okay.
believe that you don't have to put on a filter to be liked. You just have to be yourself. And we work
Mm.
around that from like my employees to my clients. Like it just runs through the whole company. Yeah, I don't know. I
Interesting.
probably
That's that's
spoke a lot.
that's a f- that's a really fascinating journey. Like, and because not only from that if we're able to go into the mindset part of it, because coming into a new country is one thing.
Hmm.
Then in the first couple of years, trying to settle down, trying to establish yourself, to then go into launching the business. Like,
Yeah.
talk us through that journey from a mindset point of view, because you mentioned something around letting go, and
Mm.
we'll definitely dive into that as well, because I think there's so much around that, and the philosophy is so important. But if you could talk about the mindset, that the challenges that you faced, and also the how did you buck up the courage, one, to make the move, and then two, in that period of time, to start a business?
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a journey. But I think since I was a child, I always kind of looked after myself, and I've been always very almost stubborn, ambitious, and if I want something, I kind of
Mm.
like do everything to get it. And I was just at this digital marketing agency where I was working at, and the boss is an amazing human being, like no doubts, but I just realized I don't want to like work for anyone else. So and also the kind of methodologies that we at No Filter use, I showed them in the company and they were like, oh, the Australian market is not there yet. So I was
Okay.
like, well, I'm not like waiting until they're there, you know? Um, so that was kind of like the first time that I realized I don't want to yeah, work for anyone else. And from there, then plus I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to
Mm.
go and do it. I think that was the first step because if you have nothing to lose, you might as well just try. And there's like
Course.
this your whole mindset just opens up again because you reached not rock bottom, but you reached that end of that path that you thought it was. So you're just starting a new one. And then it's like this whole, I don't know, it's almost like your mind's free again to see and just to dive in,
Mm.
if that makes
But what
sense.
it does, and you mentioned the courage. Like, where do you feel that courage came from? Is it as, because you mentioned like previously, like you've always known,
Yeah.
I don't want to work for someone. And I resonate and hear where you're coming from when it comes to
Mhm.
that. But it's one thing knowing that,
Mm,
it's another thing is acting on that. So
yeah.
where did that courage come from?
I think honestly, I don't know. I just didn't want to go home. I wasn't ready to go home yet. That's one thing. I wasn't ready to be like, "Hey, mom and dad, like I'm coming home." I was just not
Yeah.
going to do it. And then also having my business partner at the time on my side, that was kind of like a little bit of a buffer or like a shoulder to lean on. And then honestly, just like the people around my boyfriend at the time, like really pushed me. And then, yeah, a mix of all of these three things. And I
Mm.
was just so hungry. You know, when you're just hungry,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
happens. Yeah. So,
Is that and that desire and that hunger to like chase what what were you chasing and is that because I think it's interesting because I've had people
mm,
come onto the podcast that have also been from been international and there was a podcast with Groovy and he was saying that ours what was the term that he used, not expats but migrants that have come
mm,
over. The drive and hunger that we have is so much more because there isn't a second chance. It's either we
yeah.
make something of nothing or we're going home.
100%, yeah. And
And do you,
also yeah, sorry.
sorry, go on.
Also, you not you become a different person, but I don't think I would have done what I've done here in Germany. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but it's like the world's your oyster and you have nothing to lose, so why not? And also, I feel like you Australians are a bit more, "Let's just go and try," where Germans are very like, "Oh my god, but what if? And what if this? And blah, blah, blah."
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because I don't know if it's a Western thing because it's the same in England. I remember when I said about coming out to Australia, the amount
mm,
of people that were worried that were talking about from a negative point of view, even family as well. And it was just, it's interesting that you mentioned it as well. It's like, and with that, have you found that then the Australian market has been, I guess, you've been able to thrive because it's completely different than what you're used to in terms of that well, I'm not being judged, or I'm not having someone say, "Oh, well, what if this?" Or
mm.
like look at all the negative things, so to speak.
Yeah, I think Australians are definitely more open also to marketing. I think Germans
Mm,
are a bit more also right now in Europe, people are like cutting down budgets and not like investing so much in marketing, where Australians a bit more modern, I'd say,
yeah,
and really value social media marketing, especially.
sure.
But yeah, definitely.
Nice. And it's interesting as well. You said something about when you were working for a big corporation and
Mm.
you showed them some of the marketing that you wanted to do that now you're, I guess, renowned for. And they said they don't believe Australian market is ready. What was the difference? What was because I'm really curious to understand what the difference was then.
Yeah, it was just very strategic based. So I feel like in Australia, a lot of agencies do like a one size fits it all kind of. They don't
Hmm.
go too much into depth. And um, I come from a consulting background and I've worked in customer research and persona profiling and like really diving into people's minds and
Oh, cool.
neuroscience. So I got into the brains, and we've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
based on a big strategy and they were just like, this is too much. And I'm like, but
Really?
this is gonna lead us to, really good marketing. But
Sure.
yeah, so that's kind of what we pride ourselves with, just being so scientific based a little bit. But, yeah, I guess.
So I guess, tell me the science behind that.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with the limbic map and Georg Heusel. I'm not going to dive too
Remind
much
me.
into it because we're going to lose the listeners. But
That's all
so
right. You never know.
the limbic brain is the emotional part of your brain,
Yes.
And that's so if you every single story, every marketing campaign is based taps into that limbic brain, and you don't even know that this campaign touches you. Like you can't. It's not a rational thing. So that's what we really work with. And I know everyone thinks they're so special these days, but they're actually not. Like society can be divided in about 20 different peer groups, and every
Mm,
single one of these peer groups have a specific way of living, a specific lifestyle, a specific mindset. And I can put together a strategy knowing what will speak to you without you knowing. Or
okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. But
It
yeah,
does.
yeah, it's also not based on demographics, but like psychographics. So it doesn't matter. Like a 50-year-old man could have the same mindset as me and react to the same post because our core values are the same. Okay, but
Yeah.
that yeah.
So then, how do you? So then, when you're targeting a market or a niche or that clientele, how do you? Because it's because I hear I've had a lot of people in the marketing space actually on the podcast talk about knowing your niche, knowing your clientele,
Mm,
and it's sort of with what you're saying, it's like that could probably go against you in essence because of what you've just mentioned. Then, so how do you then target that?
I guess it's like a complementary thing. So you first of all, you obviously got to know your brand, and with the brand that you have in your core values, you find your target audiences, and then you meet do you already meet the right people?
Hmm.
Does that?
Yeah, it does. I guess the curiosity I have is with the target audience. You mentioned that, like, because sometimes when you target an audience, like you're
Mm,
targeting, like age can be a part of it, right? And
yeah.
demographic and so forth. But from what I'm hearing you say, is that someone in a different age bracket could
Mm.
still be emotionally connected to the marketing. So then, what do you guys do differently to make sure that your scope is wide enough to still catch those people?
Course. Yeah, it also obviously the age plays a role when it comes to like channel usage and stuff and like what kind of models you use, but the core brand message is the same. But whether
Okay.
I do then a campaign with like an older person using the product and using maybe different music and slower cuts, or I do it for a younger person, but it's the core stays the same, and like the
Um,
brand that you emotionally connected with tells the same story, but in different variations, if that makes sense.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like do you remember the old Coca-Cola advert at Christmas?
Yeah. Yes, obviously.
That that is everyone remembers that because the emotional thing that gives them. It's like it's a
Yeah.
reminder of Christmas, and that just came up when you were talking about it. So with that being said, like what do you find? Like how do you help businesses that doesn't because you're going to deal with all types of businesses, right? You're going to deal with small, medium, and maybe even large. Let's say they don't yet have that brand that talks to the people that the way that they want it to. How do
Mm.
you help them build that before they're marketing it?
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing because if you don't know who you are, how am I meant to sell you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
we offer brand workshops and yeah, different workshops where we just really dive into your understanding of who you are. And so many times my clients they don't know, or they give me like super superficial answers. And
yeah,
yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with like Simon Sinek and the
yes,
golden circle. Yeah, so that's yeah, I really like him. He yeah kind of figured it out how it works. So based
yeah.
on like your why, your how, and your what. And people don't know their why, and every time I'm like, how can you not? Why are you here? And that's, yeah, always very interesting. And every time I do these workshops, we really get into that deeper level. And then from there, I can understand what story we're telling. Cause,
Mm,
and they understand it as well because they come in, yeah, I want to do lipstick. And I'm like, yeah, but what are
why?
we, what are we doing with that lipstick? What are we going to make the people feel? What's like, what do you know what I mean? Like,
It's
yeah.
yeah, it's just it's like so my background's sales, and it's that the why, the emotional factor I think is the same. Like you, I was having this conversation with Adrian and Adrian, yeah, the other day. Basically, was saying that when a sales rep is selling the features,
Mm,
it's like you said, surface level. They sell results. It's maybe a level underneath, but it's when you sell the emotion and when you
yeah,
connect, and that's where you are able to help clients with what you're selling, and it's a synergized fit.
correct.
Marketing, right? It's the same, isn't it? But you're using someone's brand to be able to tell that story.
Yeah,
A- And it sounds like you mentioned that the first part is helping them understand their why.
yeah,
Have you ever found though, when you go through that journey with a client, that they've had to pivot because their why, or what their why doesn't align with what their current brand is speaking, and so forth?
yeah, all the time. And I get all the
Um,
time, I get superficial answers. Not all of them, but yeah, superficial answers. And I'm like, okay, guys, we got to go one step deeper than what it is
um,
now. And that's, I mean, that's why they bring us in, right? Because something is not going quite right, or the brand's not perceived as they want it to be perceived, and they don't know where to start and why that is. And everything starts with your why, I guess.
mm.
Yeah.
And with that, then what's your why? What's your why for what you do?
Um, so why I started a marketing agency, so I mentioned I come from a consulting strategy background, but that's not my passion. My passion is film. I studied at a film school in South Africa,
Okay.
and I just want to make people seen and heard that need to be seen and heard. I guess I'm just at the beginning of my career or my journey with my business. And one day maybe I can pick and choose some clients. We're not there yet, but the ultimate goal is to really make people and brands seen that need to be seen and heard by people, or stories to be told to make the world maybe a better place. That's kind of my why, I
I love
guess.
that. It seems very important to you.
It is, yeah, because yeah, you shouldn't leave the planet without making it a little bit better than it was before. I know that's such a cliche, but seriously, like, what are you doing here? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you. I think if everyone lived by that on a day-to-day basis, the world
Yeah.
would look a completely different place.
Yeah.
Um, but it's interesting. You mentioned something there that I think there's probably a deeper why, uh, in terms of why you're doing what you're doing, and it's being seen and heard. And
Mm.
where does that come from? And has that always been there? Has it always been that I want to be able to help people voice and get and be seen and be heard? Like that, because that's deep. That for me is something that's it's a great why. But I I feel there's another level to it, and I might be wrong, but
Oh, now you're pushing me to a deeper level. Oh my goodness. Um,
figure me out.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've always had a thing for like the misfits and like the people, I don't know, who maybe aren't heard as they should be. And maybe it comes from my own childhood. I don't know, but yeah, I guess there's some people should have a voice that maybe don't have
Mm.
the chance, or the accessibility. That makes sense.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so, and also I haven't studied environmental law or engineering, so this is my way of like helping the planet, you know? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, by doing good marketing.
Yeah. So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
That's
But
cool though. I think I think we all have that in us, and and I think it's one of the journeys is figuring that out, isn't it? And then when you do figure that out, it's like, okay, well, what then does align with that so that what I'm doing becomes more natural and I'm able to speak from my passion and truth. And I find nowadays in this world, a lot of people struggle with that.
Mm,
And a lot of people, and it's one of the reasons I started this because you think about what, like, how people see success in terms of the younger generation,
mm,
and it's so materialistic. It's so um, just the same with what they see on Instagram. They think
yeah.
that's success and that's what they should follow. And so I think it's so important. And I guess in that, how do you continue to show that through what you do on a daily basis?
I guess just giving people the voice and the channels and the tools.
Hmm.
So every time a client comes to me, they leave knowing why they're doing what they're doing and with a visibility. I
Yeah.
guess that answers
Yeah.
the question. But
Yeah. Nice. And where do you want to go? Like, where do you see No Filter
Mhm,
Agency in the next 6 months, 5 years? Where would you
mhm.
like it to be?
Oh my God, somewhere in the Antarctica shooting whales being rescued. That sounds
Really?
really, yeah, I love whales. Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're the coolest animals on earth, honestly. They're just gentle giants and they
Mm,
speak for kilometers under the water.
yes.
Yeah. Anything with the ocean, to be honest, too. Yeah. I always wanted to be a marine biologist.
Okay.
And then my parents talked me out of it when I was very young. But I'd love to combine something with that and like maybe help ocean marine conservative companies or maybe even dive into underwater photography, like somewhere along these lines. That would be
Nice.
the ultimate goal. But to be honest, like that's the thing with creatives. It's a little bit like actors. We're not like one thing. We're like, I don't know, we're in the sports
Mm.
industry and we're there and we want to do this. And on Monday we want to be this, but on Friday we want to be this. And it's, yeah. So
Do you think that helps though? Because I think what you're sort of tapping into there is the creative mindset, and that allows you to deliver the work at the highest level that you do. And
kind of,
so, does that help that being in essence, and I can say this word because I'm very similar, scatty to a certain degree.
yeah, I think 100%. Like I didn't know until I was like 23 that empathy is like a massive skill. Um,
Yeah.
I always felt like, what's my thing? You know, like everyone has a thing, and I didn't know what my thing was. And I think it's empathy. And every single client that we have, we're not just another agency, but actually becoming part of their team. Like I would rock up at their cafes, hospitality venues, or shops, and just like really be part of them. And I guess, and
Mm.
I love, like, I get so many inquiries and like the shit that people get up to or start or new, I love it. And then I get so into it. I
Yeah,
love it. Right. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And and you can tell when you're talking about that. That's probably one of the biggest parts that you love about what you do.
Mm. Yeah. The people and like if they I have lots of startups, young startups coming to me and just like, that like me, maybe the young hunger of like, I want to
Mm.
do something new and it's funny because I say I'm no filter and I want to be so authentic and this and that, but it's also a journey to put yourself out there, to be completely honest. And I want to dive more into really having like no filter, but then you also want to be seen as like a serious agency. So it's like that, like, trying to be
Mm.
both. But I did a post the other day and I just went for it and I put swear words in there. I just said how it is, how I would talk. And it was the most successful post and I got 3 leads. But the leads that came to me were exactly the people that I would love, even though it had nothing to do with like the health
Interesting.
sector. But like from this post, I have one client now and we just like click on like
Really?
a personal level. Like he understands with the same mindset. And I'm like, wow, this is, you
Mm.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and I'd love to explore that with you more because that there, I think, having the confidence and having the ability to, in essence, put two fingers up to everyone else and go, I couldn't care
Yeah.
what any of you think. I'm just going to say exactly how I feel about the situation. How, yeah, how have you found that journey of juggling that? Because it
Mm.
sounds like there's someone within you that's wanting to come out more and be more bold
Mm.
and be and have no filter. And how have you, yes, how have you sort of managed that? And then how do you want to embrace yourself more and be the real authentic you, as you said?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's still important to showcase your quality of work, you know, and we like, one of our values is quality over quantity because there's so much bullshit out there, content. And
Yes.
if clients come to me and they say they want to post every day, I don't even take them on because that's not our credo. And that's not how I think marketing these days works on social media. I
Okay.
still think you should have a continuous posting schedule and stuff, but um, people just overloaded. So quality is one thing, but then wait, what was the question again? How am I juggling?
And to be honest, it was a long-winded
It
question,
was a
so
long
it's not
thing.
your fault. Um, I'll shorten it. You mentioned before you want to be more
Yeah,
real and be
yeah.
have no more filter. How are you doing that?
Yeah, it started from like just speaking how I speak with like the no filter, and that really resonates with people. Like I just say how it is. Um, and it really works. And I'm like, okay, guys, I can do this all day. I can tell you all day what I think. And yeah, just the next step, I guess, would be from going to like words to showing and talking. And
Mm,
obviously, I analyze every day what content works for like my clients, and it is the authentic talking in the camera, saying how it is. So,
mhm.
um, yeah,
That's interesting because I went through that before starting this. Like it was really like self-doubt. So I always wanted to start this podcast. For years I just thought I'd
yeah.
love to be able to connect with people, chat and do that thing. I remember it's funny, the starting it, one of my friends suggested I give it an idea of what it's like behind the scenes in terms of
Hmm.
doing certain things. And me creating content, I'm shocking.
Yeah,
Absolutely
so
shocking.
much.
Uh,
Yeah.
like terrible. I've got no social media
Yeah.
whatsoever. My
Mm.
wife is really good. She's got a quite good following on Instagram and so forth. But me, absolutely terrible. So
Yeah.
doing videos, I did this video of me unboxing,
Yeah.
and it got cut out anyway, and near the end, and I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to post that. I posted it completely raw, didn't make any changes, and one of my friends was like, why didn't you mash it up? And I was like, do you know what? I said because one, it's real, it's who
Mm.
I am, and two, I think that one day I will look back at that and I will be able to laugh
Mhm.
and take it for what it is. Like it wasn't supposed to be the polished thing.
Yeah.
I'm just starting. So I completely resonate with what you're saying and what you're doing. I
Yeah.
think it's very important.
Yeah, I think so too. Everyone just needs to stop with all this polished filter thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's very important. And yeah, just where the world's heading, I think the more honesty and
Yeah.
authenticity, the more important it is because there's lots of loneliness going on, especially in the younger generation.
Why
And
do you
I
think that is?
I think yeah, social media is one part. I think just there's so much anxiety as well. I struggled from anxiety myself, and just because there's so much out there, like it's just
Mm,
overwhelming. Like sometimes I just want to go in a supermarket and I just want to have one thing of like the path, you know, one brand, and this is what I'm gonna get. And like, and
yeah, yeah.
it's from the pasta to the what you're gonna do in life to like it's yeah, and I just think people get overwhelmed and overstimulated.
Mm. I think as well, because it's what you mentioned at the start about letting go. I
Mm.
think the anxiety, what I've learned is anxiety comes from and living in the future too much in terms of the
Mm,
anticipation of what's going to happen
yeah.
and so forth. And and then there are like the you've got anxiety, depression comes from living in the past. So how,
Mm,
how have you evolved to be more present and let
mm.
go of things that you can't control?
Oh my God, Charlie, now you were really diving deep because
'Cause I love this though. This is like, and
yeah.
if you're open to it, let's go. Why not?
Totally. This is yeah, no filter, I guess. It's been a journey, to be honest, and because you asked, I think the podcast is called "Is Success Simple?"
Yes,
And like, I don't know if we're gonna dive into that question now, but
we
I
will.
think
Not now.
not now.
Just the
But
ending.
we come back to it. But I think that really taps into that field. Your the
Yeah,
anxiety, what you just said about like anxiety comes from you're not where you think you should be. And
yeah.
that's I had that constantly in my head. I think every entrepreneur or ambitious person constantly feels like I'm not doing well enough or I'm um
Hmm.
not where I should be. And I've just recently reached a point where I was like, okay, take a minute and just you have a pretty good life. Like
Mm.
you have a really nice roof over your head, you're healthy, you live in Bondi, you have the beautiful beach, and just you forget about these things because you're so consumed by like, where should I be and where should I go? And sometimes, meditation really helps.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
helps a
That's what
lot.
you. Is that what you? So is that one of the things that has helped you
Yeah,
be
meditate
more
because
present?
I also I'm a boxer since I've been like a child, and I
Cool.
ride motorcycles, and I've traveled, and I've always next, 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 what adventure, this, that, and I feel like it finally like catched up on me, and
Okay.
like back in the day, I was like, I'm not doing yoga, shut up. And now I've had to kind of do yoga and meditation, and it's just it's
Mm.
crazy what your brain waves do. I don't know. Do you know Joey Dispenza?
Oh, don't get me started. I've been on
Don't
it.
you? Let's go.
Oh,
Becoming supernatural.
do you know,
Yeah.
it's funny. I like, why I resonate, and because you mentioned earlier on, and I knew I was like, yeah, that for me, I love it. Like Joe, I got introduced to Joe Dispenza probably over 10 years ago. And maybe less. What caught me was his story
Mm,
around having the accident where he got hit by the truck, and then laying on
mm,
the bed, and then just the sitting there and manifesting and becoming connected
mm.
with the what's it
Gives me
called,
goosebumps now thinking about.
yeah, and just being able to change his spine to be able to then get up and walk.
Yeah.
um and I think what I really struggled with was what you refer to as that I was always getting quite, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm too far
Mm,
away from the big goal. And it just really used to throw me off. And I used to change a lot of things because my big ambition when I was a kid, any English person that plays sport or football is a football player, a professional
mm,
footballer. And then when you have the big goals and you then look at, well, I'm this age, I should be here. If I'm not here, I need to change. And then what I
mm.
found, it carried on into my career after sport.
Yeah.
I was doing exactly the same thing. And Joe Dispenza has been massive for me. But the other thing that's really helped me is Eckhart Tolle, Power of Now.
Mm.
I've read that book 4 times.
Yeah. All right. Have to
Have
add
you
it to
ever?
the list.
Oh, you've never read it? Oh, wow, it's phenomenal. It
Yeah.
really is.
Is that
It's
the next
like,
step after Joey?
yeah, it really helps you put practices into it. Like I think,
Mm,
and you'll find what resonates with you. But like I love Joe Dispenza. I love
mm.
listening to him and the manifestation and so forth. Um, but yeah, just I think that Eckhart Tolle, if you get a chance, The Power of
Yeah.
Now, put that on the book. And so, where are you at now with your I guess, journey on with that?
I guess I've learned to be proud of myself. That was a big thing. Like I just wasn't like people around me would be like, "Oh my God, you're doing so well and it looks so good." And I just like I hear it and I say thank you, but I
Mm,
didn't see it. And I'm really consciously taking a step aside and look at what I've done and just saying, "Hey, today," or like every day I say, "Okay, what have we done today? Like what are you proud of?"
mm.
And like I do a lot a day, and like just to
Yeah.
put that in perspective with like, yeah, I don't know, it's a lot and it's a lot to be proud of, even though maybe you haven't been a millionaire yet. Like, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
you're not
Ju-
driving that Lamborghini yet, but it's fine.
I think one of my favorite quotes is that you are where you are supposed to be,
Mm,
right here, right now. And as soon as you realize that, you then get out of your own way to become the
mm,
next version of you to receive what you're supposed to. And I think
yeah,
that's the biggest thing that holds people back from achieving the goals and ambitions that they have within them is that they get in their
mm,
own way.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I guess also sometimes I love having a company and doing my own thing, but sometimes you gotta step out of it because you can get
Mm,
so s- soaked up into it and like so in your own little bubble.
yeah,
Um, and sometimes I think it's better to sometimes take a step out to then come in better again. If that makes
sure.
sense.
It
Um,
does.
yeah,
Yeah, and nature does that. Have you ever done Joe Dispenza's got a walking meditation? Have you
yeah,
ever tried? Ah,
yeah, so
it's
good.
really good, that man, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
Joey.
It gives it like when you do it as well, like it feels like you're floating and you can walk for so
Yeah,
long.
it's crazy what the mind can do. Honestly, like the mind is my worst enemy and my biggest like power
Mm,
resource, and kind of you in control of what you do with it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but it's
This,
work. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what that's a great statement. It's something that you can't get complacent with. You have to
Mm.
continue working on, as you mentioned. Do you think nowadays that I guess these types of conversations around stuff like that are becoming more and more?
About awareness and being in the present moment. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot more conversation, but I think there's not a lot more doing.
How
You
do
know
you
what I
mean?
mean? So I think a lot of people talk a lot more about like meditation, yoga, being in the moment, all the influences, but then they still hang on the phone for like, I don't know, hours a
Mm,
day or don't really check in with themselves. And like, I think there's a lot of talking, but not a lot of doing about it. That's what I mean.
mm, yeah. And what
And
do you think needs to change for that then?
I think I shouldn't say this as a social media agency owner, but I think we need to put that phone away a little bit more. And live in the present moment, go out, be with your
Yeah.
friends a little bit more. Like, yeah, I think, yeah, the community aspect. I live in Bondi, so
Mm,
there's a lot of community here, and I think it's beautiful. Like people are really gathering together, and like I'm not part of any run clubs, but I like to watch it from the outside, and I think it's beautiful. So we all have it in us to be part of like a tribe, and
yes.
sometimes I think we just gotta like sign up for that run club or like, yeah, just
Mm.
be a bit more in the moment.
I think it's one of the core human needs is
Yeah.
to be to significance that in that tribe and feeling part of it. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I think the self awareness is one thing,
Mm,
and I think you know this as well when you start a business or when you have to become more self aware because
mm,
it's like you face challenges after challenges after challenges, and it's
mm,
like you start to realize what you're made of, and I think sometimes that ability to be able to realize that whatever happens that you don't have control of, that it isn't a reflection of who you are as an individual.
Mm,
And
yeah.
that's hard when you're in the
I was
thick of
gonna
things.
say, yeah. Yeah, that's hard. But yeah. I don't know, owning a business is not really about the business. It's about like keep keeping going. Do you know what I mean? Like you get so many no's, and I th-
Mm,
I think that's also why I love that you reached out to me, because you wanted to talk about like real stories. And I always listen to the podcast where they talk about their success stories, and yes, they had failures, but now they're billionaires, and
yeah.
it's not like that in the real, like it's really hard. I think in the first year 75% of businesses fail, and
Yes.
in the second year 89% or something. Like it's,
Mm,
yeah, a lot of people don't make it, and it's keep going when you get so many no's. It's like dating. Imagine you get like rejected hundreds of times, and then you get like this one yes, and then
yeah.
that keeps you going again for like a few months, years. And yeah.
Yeah. It's so true. And I think I think more and more people should be open to having these conversations, not just on platforms like this, but also like letting people, because the thing around social media is that it's a platform to show the best of you.
Mm,
Not many people use it as a platform to show that, yeah, there is the best of me, but I'm also human and I also have these challenges on a day to day basis. And like,
yeah.
I always think that if you share that and you're, like you mentioned before, around being more real,
Mm,
you're going to connect with so much more people.
yeah, and people love it. Like they support you no matter what, as long
Yes.
as you, yeah. But
Yeah. That is,
sometimes,
sorry, go on.
now sometimes my like aesthetic eye then comes in between, because I would love to do like a lots of
Mhm.
raw, but then I studied at a film school and I'm like, but it needs to look pretty. So it's like,
And that's the battle that you have, isn't it?
I
Like,
know.
'cause and I can see that as well in terms of like the journey that you're on. Like, I can imagine that that's going to be more challenging as you go along, isn't it?
Yeah.
Around who you really are and what you're
Yeah.
becoming and what people want to see.
Yeah. Totally. I think I'm getting to a point where it, like, we talked about the why before, and like, what is like really important to me, to showcase that I've done like a nice video, or to like talk about my why. And then from talking about that, you maybe get your dream clients. That's what I've learned with this one post. So
Yes.
yeah, kind of on that journey now. Um,
Wicked. That's awesome. And so with that, Jen, like what are some of the challenges that your business is facing at the moment that you're wanting to tackle, would you say?
challenges at the moment. I guess, yeah, we are in our second year now. So I guess we're still building momentum. We're still building, like I have clients now I've had from over a year, but still
That's
building.
awesome.
And to be honest, just making it through the second year, because I feel like if you make it through the second year, you've
It
built a
doesn't
little
get
bit of,
easier.
you build a, yeah, but you've built a base. So
Of course.
yeah, um, I guess that's one
Nice.
thing. And finding your people, finding your team, like that's
Mm.
also a tough one, because yeah, I don't know how about you, but I have imposter syndrome all day, every day. Like I know I'm good at stuff, but especially as an agency, people expect you to know 10 jobs, from email
Yeah,
marketing to videography to this to that. So I love my team, and I rely on my team, and just
good.
to like keep those people. I think, yeah.
I think that, yeah, it's interesting you touched on that because it is a challenge. And there's a lot of things. I'm one of those individuals from a business. I don't know everything. I know there's a lot of stuff I don't know and have no
Mm,
idea about. Like I said, social media content and so forth. But one thing I pride myself on is being able to connect with people and listen
mm,
and that helps from a business point of view because when I'm speaking to clients around what we're trying to do to help them or what their problems are,
mm,
I can then present solutions that I know. And if I don't know the
Mm,
answer to their problem, it's letting them know and being honest about that.
yeah, totally.
Like,
That's always the right thing to do, I
not
believe.
many people are that. Like, because
Mm.
I was having this conversation with someone today, and I was just like,
Mm,
just be honest. Like, if you don't know it, just let them know. Like, I don't
yeah,
know that, and it's so important.
it is. I think it builds a trust, funny enough. Like, even though you don't, but with saying that you don't know, you build more credibility and like almost integrity. Obviously, follow up with, I'm gonna find a solution or like,
Correct. Yeah,
but I think it builds a relationship rather
it
than
does.
just saying I can do everything and it's all good. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
and I think it's so important, and it's like yeah, I love that part about business,
Mm.
and I think from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, Jen, I think you're doing a fantastic job. So
Oh, thank you.
definitely keep that up, and
Great.
hopefully that is truly felt. But there's three questions that we do in the podcast on that we ask
Yeah.
everyone. The first
Three.
one, Jen,
Goodness.
what's that?
Oh my God,
Three.
three. Yeah.
We've done really well. Like
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what does success mean to you?
Yes. So this is a very interesting question. Because like I don't know, I've thought about this a little bit, and it's like, do they want me to like talk about like it professionally? Do they?
No
And
filter.
like exactly. And then I was like, you know what? They reached out to me because of what I do, so I'm just gonna have no filter, and I'm gonna just
Good.
say what it is. And I, to be honest, I think like success is probably one of the like hardest thing to achieve in life, and not just
Yeah.
because it's tough enough to be successful at life, like doing a good job, checking in with your parents, being a good friend, meeting your goals, but also
Mm,
defining what success means to you.
yeah.
And I say this because if you would have asked me a few months ago, my answer would have been completely different. And yeah, I think it's funny that you reached out to me at that time of my life, because I've recently hit a turning point, um, where I kind of realized that my definition of success was defined by someone else, or by
Yeah.
like the society around me, the people around me.
Mm,
Um, and I don't know if I'm going to fire with the question, but I'm just gonna say it. I mean, we live in Sydney, and I love Sydney. It's the most beautiful city in the world, but I think it can also be very shallow at times. Like there's like the nicest cars, the biggest boats, and like I don't know. I think I've seen more lip fillers than I've seen in my entire life, and that's all good. Everyone can do whatever they want, but they make it look so easy, so it becomes very natural to like go into that rabbit hole of, oh my God, I don't own like a nice car, I'm a failure. That's the
mm,
thing what we talked about before with, I'm not there yet, blah blah blah, and then you're surrounded by it all the time. Anyway, so I personally went down that rabbit hole myself, and I got so, yeah, soaked up by my business and like being successful and doing that, that I kind of neglected some of my personal relationships. And like, how is that for success? So
mm,
the point I'm trying to make is that success, I think, is a journey, and it's a very, very personal journey. And you have to figure out for yourself, um, and not let anyone else or like society define what success means. Because at the end of the day, success means that you're proud of yourself. So, what makes you feel proud of yourself? If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
don't. There's nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
Um,
Amen.
the sec, the second question, Jen, is what advice would you give an 18-year-old Jen
Mm.
around how to view success based off how you see it now?
Um, don't be so hard on yourself, and kind of, yeah, don't, kind of what I just explained, don't let the outside world or even like your parents Don't try to make your parents proud. Don't try to make someone else proud. Just like think about what you want from life and what makes you happy and what makes you proud of yourself, and then go for it. Go and be a marine biologist if that's what you need to do.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
that's wicked. And last but not least,
Yeah.
would you say success is simple?
Oh my gosh, no. No, not at all. Like it's the hardest thing there's. It's not at all simple. Like just yeah, just because you first of all you have to figure out what it means to you, and then secondly getting there. Yeah, and I don't think it's simple at all, no. And it's a journey. It's a journey.
Mm. Oh, Jen, like this, thank you so much for your time. I think there's been so many things that we've touched on that I think anyone that's thinking about starting a business or even not just starting a business, but even going on the journey of trying to find their true self. I
Mm.
think there's so many points that you've made that are going to be valuable for people to listen to, and hopefully that they can mirror, and it can, I guess the word I'm looking for is escape me. Um, what is that word? Not connect. Oh my, what is that word? Not synergize, not connect. If you hear something and it really,
I'm
no,
not.
it's gone. It's
It's
gone.
fine.
It's gone, and it's not coming back. It's going to come back as
That's
soon as we
okay.
jump off the
It's
podcast.
8
You know
PM
what
on
I
a
mean?
Friday.
Yeah, it's going literally it'll come back after, and I'm like, and it's going to come in then. But
Yeah.
anyway, there's a lot of value here, and I really appreciate your time. And as I mentioned before, yeah, keep being real, keep being yourself, and because I think there's a lot of what you are saying is not only helping you find your journey, but it's going to help so many other people. So yeah, keep it up.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. Very excited. And
Oh, you're welcome.
all right.
Been a pleasure. Well, look after yourself. Enjoy the weekend. And the other thing, actually, I forgot to mention,
Yes.
Jim, one of the other reasons we do this as well is that we